Evening, and thank you for joining us this morning at our City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Adamson.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Cheatham.
Here.
Johnston.
Here.
Lurick.
Here.
Manon.
Here.
Black.
Here. Thank you. Well, if you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which, if you'd remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Gina Dietz, for a Pocatello resident. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gina? You don't see Gina? Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and have a moment of silence then. Thank you. We will move to agenda item number 3 is the consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the clarification and regular council meeting of December 19, 2019. The work session meeting of December 12, 2019, the council liaison work session clarification and mission value statement discussion meeting of December 19, 2019. B, payroll and material claims. Council may wish to consider the payroll and material claims for the month of December 2019. Good evening, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Ashley Welsh, Chief Financial Officer. Tonight I'm presenting the payroll and material claims report for the month of December 2019. Total payroll and material claims for the month were $8,240.87. We had payroll-related claims of $4,273,968, and we had changes in filled positions of a decrease of 16 part-time, a decrease of 1 seasonal, for an overall decrease of 17 positions for the month. Vendor claims for the month were $3,726,273. And the large vendor claims are as follows. A-plus contractors for other fairgrounds sewer extension, $354,423. We also paid Superion LLC for the cloud annual fee of $131,155. One of the largest expenditures for the month was $2,065,294 were sent out to multiple vendors for the Hillview settlement claims. The large vendor totals explain 91.93% of all vendor claims for the month. On the back of the report, we've given you information on our December purchase card activity. We had 1,114 transactions for a total of $277,388, and 153 cardholders had transactions for the month of December. We also had 5 purchase agents with monthly totals greater than $10,000. And the types of expenditures are listed for your review. This completes my report. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to C, Human Relations Advisory Committee appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Alain Harris to serve as a member of the Human Relations Committee, replacing Sean Fay, who resigned. Ms. Harris's term will begin January 3, 2020, and it will expire August 18, 2021.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Council
I move we
President.
approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Mr. Mayor?
We have a motion by Council President Johnston and a second by Manon. We have a question.
I was not present for the work session on December 12th and would like to exclude those from the consent agenda.
I accept that as a part of the motion.
Do you need to vote, or instead of another thing, can you just recuse?
I can vote against the whole consent agenda.
Well, can you recuse himself because of that, or?
He's just asking for that agenda item to be pulled from the rest of the consent, is that correct?
Okay,
With another motion.
that's what, okay, so to come back to that, okay. All right, so we have a motion by Council President Johnston, a second by Manon. Connie, would you please, with the amendment that agenda item A has been pulled for consideration
Correct.
I'm okay if
separately.
you just pull that one work session.
Let's just do the entire A.
Okay.
Johnston,
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the item A from the for the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Council President Johnston to approve agenda item A from the consent agenda with a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
No.
Lurick,
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 4, installation of newly elected council members. Ruth Newsom, City Clerk, will administer the oath of office to the newly elected city council members.
Council-elect Stevens, if you'll come up, please, and we'll do these seat 1, 2, and then 3. After I give you the oath and you take that, I'll have you sign and I'll sign after you. Okay, great. So if you'll raise your right hand, please. And I'll go ahead and say it and you can repeat after me. I
I,
state your name.
Chris Stevens,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Council Member,
the duties of the office of City Council Member,
Pocatello,
Pocatello,
Bannock County, Idaho,
Bannock County, Idaho,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you take that one, and then if you go ahead and take your seat, please, and seat number 1. Thank you. Connie, you want to help her with her nameplate, please? Oh, she's got it. Okay. All right. Council-elect Ortega. Okay, if I can get you to raise your right hand, please. I say
Claudia Ortega,
thank you. Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Council Member
the duties of the office of City Council Member
of the City of Pocatello,
of the City of Pocatello,
Bannock County, Idaho,
Bannock County, Idaho,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay. Congratulations. Okay, let me give you one of these. There you go. Thank you. Go ahead and take your seat, please.
Thank you.
Councilmember Briggs. And you've done this before. Okay. All right, raise your right hand, please. I
I,
State your name.
Roger Bray,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution for the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of City Council Member
the duties of the office of City Council Member
of the City of Pocatello,
of the City of Pocatello,
Bannock County, Idaho,
Bannock County, Idaho,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay. Do you want me just to bring it up with me? Okay. This is one your old hat, right?
Okay, congratulations to the newly elected and sworn-in city council members. We'll move to agenda item number 5 is communication and proclamations. We do not have any proclamations, and I am not seeing any scouts in a scout uniform anyway out there, so we will move on to agenda item number 6, which is a calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. On January 9 a.m. will be a work session, immediately followed by an executive session. January 16 at 2 p.m., council liaison work session clarification meeting. January 16 at 5:30 p.m. clarification meeting. January 16, 6 p.m. regular council meeting. Other events, Christmas tree drop-off sites will be available through January 8. Boxes are located at City Hall parking lot, Rainy Park on South Arthur, and Sister City Park entrance on Pocatello Creek Road. Trees will be chipped and used as in landscaping projects. Be sure to remove all strings, wires, and other objects to avoid damaging the city's wood chipping equipment. Winter programs are happening at Zoo Idaho. Contact the zoo office for more information. City offices will be closed January 20 for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. However, garbage and recycle pickups will be on schedule. Snow removal, reminder, when clearing sidewalks and/or driveways, please do not place the snow in the street. It becomes a hazard. We will move to agenda item number 7 is the public hearing, annexation of Northgate Parkway roadway. This time has been set aside for council to hear comments from the public regarding a request to annex and zone the roadway known as Northgate Parkway from the eastern extent of the Northgate interchange to the northeastern extent of city limits. The application is requesting commercial general zoning, a comprehensive plan land use map amended from mixed use to commercial. The applicant is Town Center JV and is represented by Ken Poppy. At their meeting on December 11, 2019, Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the annexation with conditions. I declare the public hearing open.
Good evening, Mayor and councils and members of the council. My name is Matthew Lewis, and I'm the senior planner with the Pocatello Development Services Department. As noted in the agenda and described by the applicant, you have before you for consideration an annexation request to annex and zone the land, which includes the roadway known as Northgate Parkway, extending from the eastern extent of the Northgate interchange to the northeast extent of city limits. The request has been submitted by Town Center JV, represented by Kenneth Pappy. The annexation request is in statutory compliance with Idaho State Code Section 50-222, 3.A I, as a Category A annexation, which allows annexation to take place wherein all private landowners have consented to annexation. As proposed, the subject property is outside of the adopted area city impact. However, the property lies contiguous to the city of Pocatello limits at the eastmost property line and within the comprehensive land use map. A public hearing was held on December 11th, 2019, during which concerns were raised by an adjacent property owner pertaining to access, stormwater, and Idaho power lines to have City Council consider. Following, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the annexation request with zoning designation of commercial general and comprehensive plan land use map amendment from mixed use to commercial. The Planning and Zoning Commission findings of fact have been submitted and are attached to the packet. All noticing requirements have been met and no written comment has been received, other than I think the council did receive some this evening. Following the public hearing, council may wish to adopt the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation and approve the conditions that the applicant's request to annex the subject property. This concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions the council may have. Also, Mayor Quayle is available to answer any questions that you may have pertaining to public works requirements.
Thank you. Any questions for Matt while he's up here? So Matt, you didn't receive any other correspondence? Did you receive any in the clerk's office?
That's the only one, sir.
So we have one piece of correspondence that is from H. Lavelle Rupp Jr. That will be entered into the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
The applicant, Ken, you want to present anything, Ken, or no? Okay. You'll answer any questions maybe if we have any in the future. Okay. Then we'll look for any of those in testimony supporting the application. Any testimony uncommitted to the application? Are you uncommitted or are you against?
I'm uncommitted.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Lavelle Rupp. I'm the one that submitted the written testimony. I'm assuming that all of the council members have got that and read it.
Yes.
I'll answer any questions if you've got them. If not, then we'll just wait and hope that we get contacted or resolve some of the issues. So it's up,
Okay.
it's entirely up to you. If you would like to ask questions, I can answer most of them.
Any questions for Lavelle? We'll get those. Okay. Thank you.
Okay? Great.
Any others uncommitted to the application? Okay. Any opposed to the application?
Nikki Taysom, General Delivery, Pocatello, Idaho 83201. I'm opposed for several reasons. I think that we've been kind of led astray on this development. I was at a county meeting several weeks ago where it was brought up after the meeting that Millennial Development may be dissolving. And we haven't had the development and things that show that this is going to go anywhere. And I have similar questions regarding the infrastructure and who's going to get stuck paying the bill on these things, kind of like the sewer to nowhere in Chubbuck that people are still paying on. I wanted to know who are the private property owners. That was kind of already brought up. And are they receiving any benefits from this? And also changing a zoning stipulation before there's really even any development taking place up there when it's been set is more laissez-faire development. It just seems whoever comes in here and wants to do whatever, all they have to do is ask for a zoning change and they get it. And then we get stuck with fruit basket upset and what a development looks like. And so I am very much opposed to this. Anything that goes to that development as dishonest. Thank you. Share it in the name of Jesus.
Thank you. Any others opposed to the application? Okay, then, I don't know if there's anything to rebut or any,
Just give them the opportunity for the last word if you
would
want.
you like to say anything, last words, Ken? Kind of, I've always wanted to say that to you. Any last words? No, you'll have to come up here. I'm sorry, Ken.
You always put me on the spot. I think putting Northgate, putting that road in, it's going to help the whole city and the community going across. Even with the land that we just purchased up on top to connect the church coming across for the temple and all that. Pocatello Creek Road it's too congested. Putting Northgate in and making growth and for the city, that's going to help a bunch. So that's the only place we can grow is to the north. But I think that development is moving along pretty well. It's going pretty quick. I'm going into the next phase right now. We're already engineering it with Chris and designing that. But the water and sewer, we do have that solution and all that, which council members knows we collected it's a developer fee into that to support all that. So yeah, so we're protecting the city. We're not taking advantage of the taxpayers and all that. So any questions?
Question, yes.
You'll have to correct me if my procedure is in error. I know from sitting in the audience very recently that, and from sitting in clarification meetings, that frequently there's information that I think it would be beneficial for the public to hear, and because it certainly helped me understand what exactly was being annexed versus, another large parcel of land. And I'm wondering if we couldn't have just a short summary of that, just to help people understand what's actually being proposed here.
In the last 3 years, we've been putting on classes and showing people what's actually going on up there. We have one spokesperson that does it. We don't all talk over each other. That's why we got Buck Swaney. There's two developers. There's one on Portneuf development. So we elected him to be the spokesperson to do that and share all the information that's going on. And I work with the guys every day. What's going on up here? Of course, they're out of Utah. And most everything that's been going on right now in Northgate is people from Pocatello. It's our group. We're using our people, local people, are actually building it. We got Parsons up there. I got Chris, Adam, local surveyors, engineers. We got a lot of local people actually working up there. We're already starting houses. I'd start more. We got businesses coming in. There's a lot of exciting things that are happening up there.
Okay. So any other questions for Ken? I've got Merrill that's going to answer directly what your question in just a minute when if there's no more questions for Ken. Any other questions for Ken? Okay, thank you, Ken. Okay, Merrill, the question is, can you explain very quickly on what exactly we are looking at annexing here?
I will do my best to paint that picture. From those that's been up there, from the interchange, you get off the interchange on the east side. You follow the roadway along there. That roadway from the curb, and then it's 150 feet all the way through there, clear to where the roundabout comes. When you go to the roundabout, as you would go straight up the hill, 150 foot wide, to where the current city of Pocatello property has been annexed almost 2 years ago to that point. So that's where it is. So there's probably as much above the roundabout that same distance as below the roundabout that would be annexed, and a 150-foot strip all the way up.
Primarily for road?
For roadways is primarily what that is. Yes.
And who is it then that should be addressing Mr. Rupp's concerns?
We can get with Mr. Rupp. I know that he's talked.
I mean, is it the city? Is it the developer? Who
It
is
would probably be the developers under the contract that's there, that they have and on their property. But we will try to coordinate that and get that to happen.
You can make that meeting happen and get with Rups and get with the developer and all that mess.
Correct.
Okay. Before you leave, Merrill, any other questions for Merrill while he's up here? Okay, thank you. All right, I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item's before you. How do you wish to?
Actually, no, there's no action on this one.
I declare the public hearing closed. You don't get to say anything, I guess, after that. Sorry.
There'll be an ordinance at the next meeting.
There'll be an ordinance at the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we'll move then to agenda item 8, exception request at Step Ahead Preschool. April Clayson, DBA Step Ahead Preschool, requests an exception to Municipal Code 5.28.110, requiring daycare facilities to have an outdoor play area. Ms. Clayson would like to relocate her home business, Step Ahead Preschool, to a commercial building located at 185 Jefferson. The commercial facility does not have an outside play area, which is required for preschools under the Child Care Code. The children will be in a classroom environment at the facility with a couple of hours each day for a few days a week. Looks like she's here.
Thank you, Mayor Vlad and the City Council. My name is April Clayson. I currently reside at 1363 Irish Street here in Pocatello. I've owned Step Ahead Preschool for 13 years and ran out of my home. I'm currently watching my business grow. We have I employ 2 teachers, and I am bursting down the seams. It's time for me to move to a new location. I've secured a location at 185 Jefferson that will work well for our needs as a preschool. The code states that without an outdoor play space, I am required to have 75 square feet per child while they are in my facility less than 4 hours. My students come for 2.5 hours, 2 to 3 times per week. I am strictly a preschool, and my service is provided to teach children and prepare them for kindergarten. The outside door play space is not necessary for my program, nor is 75 square feet per child. The Pocatello Fire Code states that a minimum of 35 square feet per child is required. At 1,300 square feet, the space at 185 Jefferson can easily accommodate the square footage requirements to meet the fire code. I am current with all my daycare licensing requirements outlined by the city and state. Our class size is limited to 12 students, which is in line with teacher-student ratios. Moving to this space will allow more Pocatello children ages 3 to 5 to receive quality social and academic preparation, as I would be able to double my class offerings. I hope you can help my small business grow in Pocatello by granting me the exemption from the code stating that I need 75 square feet per child. I am happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions for April? Yes.
I just wanted to clarify in the materials that we read. So what's the length of time that students typically stay?
My classes are 2.5 hours, 2 to 3 times a week.
And you don't have situations where a child would go over that?
No.
Okay.
No, we're specific time.
Okay.
Other questions for April?
So then, I'm sorry, so then there is no, people can't leave their children there after your class period for another 3 or 4 hours for daycare while they're at work?
No.
That doesn't happen?
No, we only provide preschool. All of my teachers are certified teachers, so that's our main focus, is teaching the children.
So if we put a 3-hour maximum limit, you'd be very comfortable with that?
Absolutely, yes.
What kind of attendance and duration documentation do you typically keep per child?
I keep a roll for each child. I have every child. I have immunizations. I have I have emergency contacts, parent information. I keep all that. But I do keep roll every time they come, and I keep that. And like I said, I show that to the city every time they come visit me.
So do parents sign their children up for a specific time slot? Is
Yeah.
that how it works?
Yeah. So currently I offer 5 classes out of my current location, so they can sign them up. They come 2 times a week during different sessions.
Other questions? Thank you, April.
Thank you very much.
Councilwoman Lyric?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we approve the exception request for Step Ahead Preschool. Is there any signature requirements?
I don't think there's any signature requirements. Would you?
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion by Lyric and a second by Cheatham.
Would you accept an amendment to put a 3-hour limitation?
Yes, I have no problem with that.
Okay, so you guys can amend your
I
motion.
mean, you're under that anyway,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, we've got an amended motion from Councilwoman Lyric and still seconded by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 9, preliminary plat extension Creekside District Division 1. Scott and Nicole Seibert, Mike and Kathy Seibert, Mike Seibert, Iron Eagle LLC, represented by Rocky Mountain Engineering and Surveying, request a 6-month extension on the preliminary plat approval. The preliminary plat approval is valid for a period of 2 years from the date of Planning and Zoning Commission action per Municipal Code 16.20.070A. The commission recommended approval of the preliminary plat with conditions on September 27, 2017. Council may wish to allow the extension to submit the final plat to be named Creekside District Division 1 and would expire on March 27, 2020. Staff recommended approval of the extension. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the plat extension for 6 months.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, Optimum Health Agreement, Community Recreation Center. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of staff and approve an agreement with the Optimum Health that will allow the Community Recreation Center, CRC, to accept members covered by Renew Active effective January 1, 2020. Renew Active is free to eligible members who are enrolled with United Healthcare, the current provider for Medicare. The city will receive $20 per enrollee that visit the CRC at least once a month, and there is no direct expense for providing the service. Councilwoman Adamson.
Mayor, I move that we approve the agreement. Second.
We have a motion by Adamson and a second by Lurick. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Adamson,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, acceptance of Police K-9, American K-9 Interdiction LLC. Council may wish to accept the donation of a 2.5-year-old police K-9 from American K-9 Interdiction LLC for use by the Pocatello Police Department. The donation will include 2 weeks of training, which will take place in Pocatello. Yeah, Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the canine animal from our police department.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, Infrastructure Management Service, Sole Source Declaration and Expenditure, Street Operations. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of Street Operations staff and authorize the mayor's signature on documents related to the request for the following items. A, declare service from Infrastructure Management Service, IMS, for pavement asset data collections as a sole source expenditure, and B, approve the consultant service agreement with IMS for professional services to complete a comprehensive pavement condition survey in the amount of $59,900. Funds for the agreement are available in the street operation fiscal year 2020 budget.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes?
I'd move to approve agenda item number 12, the Infrastructure Management Services Sole Source Declaration and Expenditure.
Second.
We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lurick.
Can we speak to that just for a second?
We can absolutely speak to that.
I think it's real important to point out that this is a testing of our streets, so we'll know how to repair them, and that this is something that spans over 5 years. It helps us to know exactly what streets are soft under the structure you see, and where we need to focus our attention. And it helps us to plan over a 5-year cycle. So we're spending $59,000 for a 5-year impact.
That's already in the budget.
That's in
It's in the budget, yes. Okay. We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lurick. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Ortega.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 13, grant application acceptance. Council may wish to approve submission of the following grants, and if awarded, authorize acceptance of the grants and authorize the mayor to sign subject to legal department review. Documents related to the grant. A local match for all 4 grants will come from Fund 70. A, Clark Street ADA improvements. 5310 Federal Transit Administration grant in the amount of $292,600. The grant will be used to install several pedestrian improvements along the north side of Clark Street to bring it into ADA compliance. The project includes approximately 120 feet of sidewalk at the east end of Clark Street, 35 new curb ramps, and several asphalt approaches along the north side of Clark Street. This project will start at 18th Avenue and run down to Pocatello Avenue and include 5 bus stops. If awarded, funding is available in 2021 through 2022. Local match is 7.35% or $58,520. B, Main Street and Arthur Street improvements. Local Highway Safety Improvement Program, LHSIP, grant for Main Street and Arthur Street pedestrian improvements in the amount of $1,191,000. The grant will be used to construct bulb outs, curb ramps at all 4 corners on 10 intersections along Main Street from Fremont Street to Day Street, excluding Sherman Street. The multiple other improvements. There will also be 4 locations near Pokie High School where the rectangular rapid flash beacons will be installed to improve pedestrian safety and while crossing Main Street and Arthur Street. If awarded, the project would begin in fiscal year 2023. Local match is 3.74% or
7.34%.
I'm sorry, it is 7 point, I was trying to get us a deal. Local match is 7.34%. Man alive, you guys were quick on that one. Or $87,420. Or C, Poline Road improvements phase 1 right-of-way acquisition. Acquisition. Thank you. Idaho Local Highway Technical Acceptance Council, LHTAC grant, Highway Technical grant in the amount of $600,000 for right-of-way acquisition.
Got it.
Man alive, it's a tough one for me to say. Utility clearance and preliminary engineering for widening Poline Road from a 4-lane road to a 5-lane road, from Alameda Road to Quinn Road. If awarded, the project would begin in fiscal year 2023. Local match is 7.34% or $44,040. And D, Poline Road improvements phase 2 construction. Surface Transportation Block STBG grant for construction phase of the Poline Road safety improvements. project in the amount of $3,858,000. The grant will be used for construction to widen Poline Road from a 4-lane to a 5-lane road. If awarded, funding is available in 2027 to 2030. Local match is 7.34% or $283,178.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, that was a mouthful.
I move that we approve submission of the following grants. A, Clark Street ADA improvements. B, Main Street and Arthur Street improvements. C, Pole Line Road improvements. And D, Pole Line Road improvements. And if awarded, authorize acceptance of the grants and the mayor to sign, subject to legal department review, documents that are related to the grants.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Lurick and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Ortega.
I'm not going to vote. I don't know enough about this.
You don't have that privilege.
I have to say yes or no?
Yeah,
No.
you get to vote no. Okay?
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Wait.
It passed.
Okay. Who didn't vote?
We got everyone.
Okay. All right. I just missed somebody. All right. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 14, discussion items. This time has been set aside to hear discussion items not listed on the agenda. Items which appear somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under this agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of the meeting in order to be recognized. As a reminder, there's a total of 15 minutes for this agenda item and 3 minutes per person. We'll go ahead and get started. Nikki Taysom.
Thank you, Nikki Taysom, General Delivery, Pocatello, Idaho 83201. Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution states, "The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence." Article 6 states, second paragraph, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby anything in the constitution of laws or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding." In Article 1, Section 9, it states, "No money shall be drawn from the Treasury but in consequence of appropriations made by law," which means they've got to be according to constitutional law. I am here to address the budgets and constitutional withdrawals from our Treasury, including benefits that include vacation time, sick leave, retirement, insurance, unemployment, Social Security, and debts, including the sewer plant debt. Also nonprofit donations, Pocatello Development Authority grants, Art Council grants, and the transit. And I bring up the transit because it is so much federally funded that it is still public funds. And anytime you take anything from the federal government, you lose at least one liberty. Health care costs that we've paid for, the state investment pool and other investment accounts that the city has. We have local businesses going out of business because they are in competition with government who use our tax dollars to compete against us, like landscaping and road construction, sanitation, and parks and rec. It's not the government's job to be in the sanitation, parks and rec, or development business. I went and listened and got copies of people's tax notices, and most of these are retired people who've said that they don't have money to draw on their fixed incomes. Some have gone up over $50,000. These people have been here their entire lives. I've attended these meetings solid since 2011. I and my family have paid a huge price for speaking up on these things. We all, as Americans, are bound as one nation under God and indivisible, and by this law, as the supreme law of this land, and nothing is to conflict with that. I don't get anything for paying for your vacation, sick leave, or retirement. You cannot take my funds to pay other people's benefits, or nonprofits, or development
Thank you
grants.
very much. We'll move on to David, is it
I
Leibold?
stand true to
Thank
it in
you.
the name of Jesus.
Thank you.
We also have more than 3 minutes in our.
I'm sorry, David, your last name?
David Leibold.
Leibold, I had it, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
1730 West Quinn Road, Pocatello, Idaho, 83202. I am here representing Legalize Idaho and Idaho Cannabis Coalition. I am here to urge the city council members to read the petition for medical marijuana in the state of Idaho. There's a couple here that have heard me speak a couple of different times about it. I'm just urging the city council to please pay attention to what's going on, because when we do pass this petition, we're going to have some more discussion to be made. That's basically what I'm here to state.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then we will move on to agenda item number 15, election of president of the council. This time has been set aside for council to elect a president of the council in conformance with Idaho Code Section 50-702.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman,
this council has a long tradition of electing the president of the council as the longest-serving member of the council who has not served in that position in the past. In keeping with that, I would like to nominate Heidi Adamson as president of the Pocatello City Council.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lurick. Ben? Yes.
At this time, I would like to address confusing communication in an attempt to use this particular decision as an example, urging us to be very precise in our use of language. When Councilwoman Ortega and I were in training, we were twice told very clearly that the council president is chosen by tradition through seniority, period. And that makes sense. Twice we were told that. Then in another meeting, a third statement was made, which was, the council has a long tradition of choosing the president based on seniority, and therefore Councilwoman Adamson would be the logical choice through tradition, which didn't make sense because she does not have seniority. Upon making a clarifying phone call, the added statement was made that it's the council person who has seniority, providing that person has never been council president before. So my only point here is that I think we need to mean what we say, and I think we need to say what we mean, because otherwise it creates a sense of confusion in the best case scenario, and in the worst case scenario, it can also lead to unnecessary tensions. So I use this not to call anybody out, but to urge us to be very careful in the future and say exactly what we mean the first time around. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lurick. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Ortega,
No.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations, Heidi. We'll move on to agenda item number 16 is the State of the City. This time has been set aside for the annual State of the City report. Let me see if I can get to it. We've kind of changed things up a little bit, so this might take a minute because we used to videotape it, but we do not have a video services department anymore. And so I'm going to have to read it all, so I'm sorry, but good luck to you. And I promise I won't read all of it. It is like 14 pages long, so we would be here for 3 hours if I did. We'll go ahead and get going here. In 2019, Pocatello Regional Airport completed a hard stand parking location for a large firefighting aircraft that used Pocatello as a base operations. Now the airport is able to support multiple tankers if need be. This past fall, the airport hosted a full-scale emergency exercise on the airfield. 12 different agencies participated in the Federal Aviation Administration required exercise and allowed each group a chance to participate how they would respond to an actual emergency, or to practice how they would respond to an actual emergency. Pocatello Animal Services was able to find forever homes for more than 500 dogs and over 700 cats during the 2019, thanks to the Best Friends Animal Society and the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Fee-waived adoption events were held last year. The result in the adoption of every cat and kitten at the shelter in less than a week, and 13 dogs finding a home in just a few hours. I'm just going to say I didn't think we would ever get rid of all the cats in a week. And but they did it. We even give them away. We couldn't give them away 5 at a time, and then all of a sudden this came up and everybody took it, so it was great. The building department issued over 3,000 building permits with a combination valuation of nearly $104 million in 2019. The city saw more than 40 new apartment units constructed and over 100 single-family and duplex units constructed. The Finance Department earned the Distinguished Budget Award for Government Finance Officers Associations for the second year in a row. In order to receive the award, the City of Pocatello had to meet nationally recognized guidelines for the budget presentation that are designed to determine how well the budget serves as a policy document, financial plan, operations guide, and communications device. For the 5th consecutive year, the Pocatello Fire Department and Bannock County Ambulance District were recognized by the American Heart Association's Mission Lifeline program. The award highlights emergency medical service that provide outstanding cardiac care for patients. In 2019, Human Resources added webinar training opportunities for city employees, updated city policies, and started the police department's employee assistance program. Information Technology Department debuted the new city app, Pocatello Connect. In fact, if everybody out there has their phone right now, you ought to go to your app store, go to Pocatello Connect, and download that to your app. The app features a streamlined service request process, allowing residents who see a concern to immediately report the issue. Beyond just service requests, the app also allows people to register for Parks and Recreation Department programs and apply for city jobs and much, much more. During the course of 2019, the Marshall Public Library more than doubled the number of e-books checked out from the library. The library partnered with Idaho State Civic Symphony to offer arts and community tickets to patrons. The program provides 2 tickets to a symphony concert during the 2019-2020 season. The exterior of the library received a bit of TLC in 2019, with the brickwork undergoing restoration and protection efforts. In September, the City Council adopted a mission statement and values statement for the city. The declarations help to guide decisions by elected officials and city leaders and employees. Through the year, the mayor and council attended joint meetings with the city of Chubbuck, Bannock County, School District 25, and Idaho State University to better coordinate activities and efforts. For 2020, the city will continue its efforts with Idaho State University to develop a college town charter formalizing the positive working relationship between the city and the university. 2019 was a year of construction in the Parks and Recreation Department. At Zoo Idaho, the new wetlands exhibit was completed. As the vegetation and the exhibit matures, the wetlands will transform the upper level of Zoo Idaho and attract new wildlife species such as the trumpeter swan, sandhill crane, gray heron, and more. A new concessions building opened for business at the Ross Park Aquatic Complex. The Ross Park Drive-In is operating the concessions booth for both the city, and pool goers are now able to order some of the restaurant's most popular items without leaving the facility. In October 2019, the Planning and Development Services Department took home a public outreach award from the Idaho chapter of the American Planning Association for its work on Terry First. Meanwhile, the Lead Safe and Healthy Homes program completed 18 lead hazard control projects in 2019. Through the program, which is funded by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, low to moderate income Pocatelloans are eligible to have lead-based paint hazards in their home removed for free. Adding to the Historic Preservation Commission's slate of successful events such as Stones 2 Stories and the Brady Chapel Open House, the group will be hosting a statewide Idaho Historic Preservation Conference on the campus of Idaho State University in September 2020. In addition, Police Department, in addition to working several major cases in 2019, the police department was active in the community. Officers participated in Handcuff Hunger and Give the Cops a Bird food drive, Secret Santa and Shop with a Cop program, and more than 20 speaking engagements.
200.
Oh, 200 is definitely more than 20. But it was over 200 speaking engagements. The department was also recognized for spearheading a critical incident and reunification exercise by Campus Safety Magazine. The exercise marked the first time a full-scale reunification drill had been held in Idaho. In the next year, the department will be working toward dispatch division being certified as a accredited center of excellence through the National International Academies of Emergency Dispatch. The engineer department completed designs for Hawthorne-Quinn intersection project with construction slated for 2023. The Benton Street Bridge project wrapped up with crews rehabilitating the substructure of the bridge by reinforcing the concrete with carbon fiber wrapping, installing a corrosion protection system, and repairing the column footings below the ground. 2019 was the first full year of operation for the new Fleet Services Department. In July, an open house was held at the Public Works Annex location on Garrett Way. The department centralizes vehicle maintenance for the street operations, the sanitation departments, as well as departments located at City Hall. The sanitation department's glass recycling program expanded in 2019. Because of the popularity of the Albertsons drop-off location, the department made a switch from a 3-yard container to a 17-yard container. In total, more than 170 tons of glass were recycled through the program. That's amazing. In 2019, saw the Science and Environment Division hosted the first ever Pokey Portneuf Paddle. The event drew more than 1,000 people to float the Portneuf River on their tubes, kayaks, canoes, or stand-up paddle boards. I don't know. Did anybody really, is Hannah here? Did anybody really
Stand up.
stand up?
Dennis did.
Dennis did?
Yes.
That's great balance.
There's one.
We got one that did it. God,
Husband and my son, they did.
they both did it, and they stayed up.
Yeah,
I don't know if I believe you.
we had a council meeting that night, so I couldn't.
So you couldn't go.
But, yeah.
That was a great thing. Let's see, our stand-up paddle boards from Edson Fichter Nature Area or Taysom Rotary Park to Centennial Park. The division will also continue its work on the Portneuf River Vision by implementing river put-ins and additional cleanup work. The Street Operations Department treated more than 30 miles of Pocatello's roads during the year, bringing its 5-year total to just over 175 miles. The repairs led to the city's pavement condition index score ticking up to 77.1. So I have a question, and I don't know if I can ask. I can ask it. Tom, does the pavement condition index ever go down, or is it, for most cities, it goes down?
For most cities, it goes down. Our street department is doing an incredible job.
That is awesome. We've got incredible employees at the city. The water department replaced nearly 2 miles of water main during 2019. The department completed its 5th and final year of replacing meters with new automated meter reading devices. The devices help improve the efficiency, accuracy, and reliability of meter readings for customers. The Water Pollution Control Department treated over 1.2 billion gallons of wastewater, removing over 99% of the contaminants as part of the annual maintenance of the city's sewer system. Crews camera inspected over 10 miles of sewer lines. The number of passengers on Pocatello Regional Transit buses climbed to more than 284,000 people in 2019. The department added 7 new buses and 2 accessible passenger vans to the fleet. 3 of the vehicles are being used by the rural program and were purchased using Idaho Department of Environmental Quality grant at no cost to the city. The urban program is using 6 other buses for a fixed route and door-to-door service. In 2019, the Utility Billing Department began offering the WaterSmart platform to customers. The software platform allows customers to see information about their water usage, such as average gallons used per day, historic use over a 2-year period, and more. Customers are able to estimate use from household water fixtures and appliances, as well as access money-saving tips that will help residents conserve water and their cash. We also celebrated the opening of the Northgate Interchange. It is the very first public-private partnership of its kind in the state of Idaho. The Idaho Transportation Department, City of Pocatello, City of Chubbuck, Bannock County, Pocatello Development Authority, and private development companies came together to plan, fund, and implement this much-needed transportation route. In 2020, U.S. citizens will have a chance to help our community receive more than $2,000 per person, and all it will take is just 10 minutes of your time. How? By filling out your 2020 census form. Your response to the census helped determine funding for things like schools, roads, highways, construction, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Idaho Small Business Development Center, Pocatello Regional Transit, and more. All told, more than 50 federal programs are funded by your answers to the census. But that's not all. The census helps with. The population and demographic data you provide helps fuel economic development. You'll have 3 ways to respond to the census in April. New for 2020, you can respond online, in addition to mail or by phone. It is my hope that when you see your census form arrive, it doesn't cause you to think just one more thing I have to do, but view it as a chance to help your community get the funding it needs to prosper in the future. I will tell you, I skipped a lot of that. There's a whole bunch that I skipped. The City of Pocatello, we have been busy We've been doing all kinds of things that have been just beneficial to the community as a whole. And I am personally grateful for the hard work of the men and women that are employees of the city of Pocatello. We have by far the best employees any organization could have. I will continue to say that. I will continue to beat that drum. I'm proud to be able to serve with them. I'm grateful to be able to be from our incredible community that we have and work with people that are so good and so nice to be around. From our first responders to WPC and library all the way to the mayor's office. We've got some great people and it is fantastic to work with them. I'm grateful for that. I will tell you, as I look at Pocatello's future, we are in a very, very good place to be able to see many things happening. I'm grateful for that. I'm looking forward to working with the city council that we have and looking forward to getting to know them and moving our community forward. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and for being with us and spending all night long and listening to me read all of that State of the City thing. I appreciate it. And with that, we are adjourned.